So, in response to a question about making a Google Forms quiz that had audio as a question format instead of pupils having to read, I'm sure there's lots of different possible uses. Obviously, in modern languages for listening, music, I'm sure there's opportunities for using this to do analysis questions. It may even be just from a point of view of accessibility. There are a couple of options that you can use to do this, and I'm going to show you one of them, and I'll maybe discuss a couple of the other possibilities. And if you're interested in pursuing either of those routes, you can get back to me, and I'll be happy to make a new video to show you the alternative methods. So to start with, the beginning point is really if you're going to put audio into your questions, you need to have the audio files or create them. So if you already have the audio files, one of the things that you need to do is just upload them to your Google Drive, which you can do by going to New, File Upload, or if it's a whole folder on your computer that has all the audio files, you can just upload that. If you happen to have them already, I know that modern languages quite often have the audio files stored in Glow. So if we went to Glow, we could right click on a file, download it. It'll appear down at the bottom here if you're using the Chrome browser. And so when you go to your drive, you can just drag that file up. You might want to make a folder. So I'm just going to make a new folder for audio clips just for now. And what I'll do is I'll just drag that file up and I'll drop it into there into audio clips. So that's assuming you already have the audio file. The important thing to keep in mind is that there's a relatively, well, I wouldn't say a limited range of audio file types that will play in Chrome. Most will, but certainly you'd want to make sure it's either an MP3 or a WMA or WAV file. I think all of those should work. So if you have a look at the file, you'll see that it ends with .wma, which means that's a file type that should work in Chrome. So moving on anyway, if you didn't actually have it already, what I'm going to do is I'll just quickly show you an extension, or it's not really an extension, it's an add-on that you can use that goes with Chrome. And I'm sure there's other online audio recorders. I just happened to find this one because it records directly to your Google Drive, saving you a bit of messing about having to download and upload. So if I just search Cloud Audio Recorder, go to Google Chrome, um, you'll see that it's this one here is coming up. So we go to their website. Um, one of the things I can do is when I get to this point here where I've got the option to save to Google Drive, I can sign in with my Google Drive. So I'll just do it just now. Test audio clip for video. So finish recording, hit stop. We can choose which type of file, so we'll just export as an MP3. And then I'm going to say save to Google Drive. And the only thing I'd maybe want to choose is select a folder if I'm putting them all in a specific place. So I'm going to select the audio clips folder and I'm just going to click save to Google Drive. Now, the first time you do this, it won't automatically just upload straight to Google Drive. It'll come up with a wee thing asking you to sign into your Google account and confirm that it can access Google Drive. So you'll need to go through that process to make sure that that's all approved. But after you've done that once, it seems to hang on to that permission, and you don't need to go through the process over and over again. And after you've added it to Google Drive, it's an add-on. So after you've gone to Chrome Web Store, you usually will find you get an option to add it. And what you'll find is if you go to your folder, so you go to your drive, you go to New, More, one of the options that will come up is Cloud Audio Recorder. And when you click that, it just opens this wee window for you. So it's nice and quick to access in future. So anyway, that should have, I'll just go and check. Yeah, we've got another audio recording here. You can obviously rename those files if you want to make them a bit easier to recognize in future. It's not a huge issue. Um, Now, onto the Google Form part of it. So we've obviously got the audio recordings here in my drive. So we're going to make a new form. And we'll just call it audio clips. Whatever you want to call it, that's obviously going to be up to you. So in your question, you could simply type, please listen to the attached audio clip. And say translate. And then what we need to do in here is we need to add that audio clip. So if we go back up to our Google Drive, I'm going to right click on that and I'm going to get a shareable link and turn that on. I'm going to go to the sharing settings and it's really up to you. You could leave it as anyone at Stirling Council because if the pupils are doing their quiz, they're almost certainly going to be signed in um, to their Google account. But just if you want it to be safe, unless it's got anything that would be sensitive in it, which I doubt it would have, you can just change that to anyone with the link, and that just ensures there's definitely not going to be any problems with somebody accessing the quiz that's maybe not signed in or something. So anyway, we've copied the link, and what we're going to do is go back to our form, and we're just going to paste that into there, and you'll see it's automatically chosen short answer text, so I might want to change that to a paragraph if I was looking for translation. And to see how that would look for a pupil, we can click on the preview button at the top here. And you'll see that when the pupil clicks on that, this is what they'll see. Please listen to the attached audio clip. So they click on that. It opens up a new window in which you'll probably not be able to hear the audio playing because I don't think Screencastify records the system audio, but it's playing back the audio clip that I just recorded. So the only thing that you might still want to do is to try and tidy that link up because it is quite long. You'll see that the URL is really big there. It might not look as tidy as you might want it to. We copy that, we can go to our website, click bit.ly, so bitly.com. There's lots of other ones. And if we just click shorten, that will take that big long URL and make a shortened version that should still work absolutely fine. And so if we go back to our form, we can just paste that shortened URL and it looks a bit tidier. So when pupils click on it, they have a nice little tidy link like that that they can use. Now, the basic premise is pretty straightforward because what you're doing here is really just saving an audio file to your Google Drive and then creating a link. Unfortunately, at the current time, Google Forms doesn't have any option to just add audio files to questions, so there would be like a big play button here, which would be be a really nice thing to have added on, but maybe it'll come in the future. An alternative couple of options that you could use if you wanted to would be to add a video. So you could actually create a little YouTube recording where you read through all of the questions. So you'd say, question one, read out the text, then take a pause and say question two, read out the text, so that people could just play it on YouTube and pause it as and when they wanted to. That would have the option as well if you wanted to make it more face to face that you could record yourself talking, so it maybe felt a bit more personal. And that way, what you would do is just insert a link to YouTube at the top of your questions with instructions for pupils to watch the video on YouTube and pause it after each question and then put their answers in a series of questions that you would create down here. That, I mean, to be honest, it's not really going to make much difference which path you go down, both will work. The other option you would maybe have is to create a Google Slides, and in Google Slides you can embed audio into individual slides. So you could make a slide for each question where there was an audio file linked into that. But again, I don't really see much point in going down that route because this would, in principle, work perfectly well. So hopefully that was clear enough. Give me a wee shout if you've got any questions, and I'll be happy to help.